we're meant to be in relationships. We're bonding, relational, social beings. And relationships are the water we swim in. And if you take fish out of the water and plug it on the deck, it looks really weird. I feel like when we look at the relationships and creating better work life, we cannot isolate ourselves and say, well, I'm here just to do my job. I don't need to have a relationship with another people, with people around me. Well, that's not how the brain works. And so I want to cover maybe the key concepts of attachment, which really helps us to understand the patterns that we get stuck in. And one of the issues I feel like is happening is that people not paying attention to the attachment significance.
Hi, I'm Dr. Lola Gershfeld, and I help companies master the art of relationships so they can overcome interpersonal conflict issues and keep the talent they deserve.
What John Bowlby, who introduced us to the idea of attachment, really studied interactions between mothers and children, and he started to identify these patterns that we have. So why do we have these patterns? Well, we have to start with what happens to us when we work together. Well, when we work together, we depend on each other. That's a given. And this dependency creates an attachment in our brain. That's how our brain works. And this activates our bonding needs in our brain. So emotional connection is sort of the glue that holds that bond together. And you can really say that the attachment science has really helped us to understand what happens to us when we lose that connection, when that bond is broken. We understand how important these bonds are. We started to feel stronger with each other. We start to feel more connected. We start to feel thriving. We start to take risks. And most importantly is we start to feel not alone in our world. So the need for emotional connection is really the most basic longing, the most basic motivator we have. And we'll talk a little bit about how the brain responds to these disconnections. But first of all, I just want to kind of like think about how important these emotional connections are, how important these relationships are. Because if I'm stressed and I can reach out to you and know that you will be there for me, you will support me, you will comfort me with that stress, that means I'm not alone in this world. That means I can deal with stress, I can deal with uncertainties, I can deal with all different things that are happening. But if I don't, I'm going to be stressed in life. So the code really of attachment really tells us that our primary need is for that felt sense of security with people we depend on. And we have to look through that attachment lens, and we need to understand, what does that mean, felt sense of security? What does it mean to feel important to other people? What does that mean to make sure that people feel mattered and that like we care about them? And that because we notice that when we have a distressed relationship, people start to feel anxious at work, they start to feel depressed at work. That really makes their life difficult. I remember working with a particular team, and she said, Lola, I don't need to have a relationship with my manager. I'm here to do my job. Right. And so what happened is she did not recognize that by actually isolating herself, by not having that relationship component with her manager, right? She couldn't sleep at night. She has all these health issues come up. Well, that's how our brain responds to the stress.